Hello, welcome to Africa This Month on Ominira TV. Hi, I'm Lanre-Peter, and Africa This Month is a program where every month we have conversations about selected issues happening across the continent. For this new episode, I have Stephen Oyedemi with me in the studio. Stephen Oyedemi is the co-founder and operations director of Ominira Initiative for Economic Advancement. Stephen, welcome to Africa This Month.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Every month, there are many issues happening across the continent, from Sudan to Cape Verde, Nigeria, Chad. But our goal on this program is to select some of these issues and, as we deem fit, and drive conversations about them to inform and educate you. So please stay tuned. Let's start from Nigeria, about the insecurity issues that has been rampant in the country. Just in this month, we had bandits kidnapping students and staff members of Greenfield University in Kaduna. We had Boko Haram hoisting their flag again in Niger and Yobe State. There was an attack on Governor Uzodima's house in Imo, and killings going on in Benue State and several places in the country. Stephen, what is wrong with our society? Where are we heading to?
What we have right now in Nigeria is almost what you describe as a state of
anything goes, because we've seen insecurity, grow in a way that has become so worrisome. I mean, the state of security right now is like nobody is actually secure. You are not free to travel, even between Abuja and Kaduna, just about 2 hours trip. To travel just between those two major cities can be very problematic for you, and it's something that is very worrisome. Even right now, as at the last ranking, the Global Terrorism Index ranked Nigeria the third most terrorized country after Afghanistan and Iraq. So that gives you a picture of what is really going on. The government is not doing enough of what it should be doing in terms of protecting the citizens, and that's the first and most important responsibility of government. And until we get to that point where we ensure that the life and property of every Nigerian is secure, we are not moving anywhere. So we are seeing a situation where so much money has been budgeted for security votes here and there, but there's just a huge lack of capacity from governance, in terms of political governance, and also in terms of our military. There's just a huge lack of capacity. So we need a complete overhauling of the entire system to ensure that only people who have the capacity, who have the wherewithal, are allowed to lead important positions. But what we have now is more of nepotism, man on man. People are appointed to positions of authority without having the qualification and the capacity that they need to have to lead such institutions. And I think until that changes, we are not moving anywhere.
Just a couple of days ago, we saw Senator Smart Adeyemi almost crying at the Red Chambers about the issue of insecurity. In fact, he did say that they should shut the National Assembly if they can't save the nation. Let's listen to Senator Smart Adeyemi and come back.
We cannot keep quiet any longer. It has gotten to a point that we cannot sleep with our two eyes closed. We are not free. Our children are not free. The president must rise to the occasion. There's no nation that is so powerful that doesn't need support of other nations. Individual cannot say you will leave the world without any other person with you. So we must rise. The situation is our security system has collapsed. It has failed. And because it has failed, we need to look for foreign support. Every part of this country is threatened. From the north to the south, nobody is safe. Nobody can travel 50 kilometers in our nation. I feel like shedding tears for a country that we grew up, where nobody harass you when you travel from Lagos to Maiduguri. I've done it in times past. Today I cannot travel from here to Kaduna to Niger State where I was born. The president must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must look for foreign support to save this nation. This is my position, Mr. President. We must rise to it. They are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly. Let's shut it down. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes.
So you just heard Senator Smart Adeyemi there. Isn't this a failure of government? This insecurity situation, isn't this a failure of government?
Absolutely, it's a failure of government. I mean, what else?
if the government has been, up to its task, up to its responsibilities, we won't have a situation where things are so, are so broken down as they are right now. Even everybody is feeling it. Kidnapping. In fact, right now, you don't have to be so rich before you are even kidnapped. I mean, we hear news of people who are in the middle class getting kidnapped. The situation right now is that they don't need to ask for the huge amounts, 20 million, 50 million. Sometimes they just kidnap people and they ask for 2 million. You just know that, okay, your family will just find a way to provide the money. And that's how bad things are. And everybody's feeling it. Even both the elites and the lower class in the society, everybody's feeling it. And that's why even Senator Smart Adeyemi said that to travel from Abuja to Niger State, where he was born, is so difficult for him now because nobody feels secure. You have the headers, terrorizing people all around. You have, cases of kidnappings by, oftentimes we call them unknown gunmen. How can people, go around our country and terrorize people and say they are unknown gunmen?
It's such an appalling situation that we are in, and it makes me wonder what the cost of this is to the economy.
Yeah, very massive cost to the economy because no one wants to bring their money to a society that is not secure. And investments, it will be difficult to attract investment, both local and foreign investments, if the environment is not secure. There's a problem of business unfriendliness of the economy, and there's a problem of the economic challenges, exchange rate problem, and then you now have the problem of insecurity to all of this. So we can easily see the reasons why the economy is in a bad shape, unemployment is very high, because those fundamental things that need to be put in place to attract the kind of investment we need to drive the economy are not in place. So I don't know. It just boils down back to what I said earlier on, that the problem is actually with the capacity of leadership, which is very low, and until that changed, I mean, we have a long way to go, but we'll keep hoping.
Until we improve the capacity of leadership,
exactly,
nothing is going to change about that.
Exactly.
Let's move on from the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Also, in the month of April, Twitter established its presence in Africa, and the company chose to locate its headquarters in the continent in Ghana, and that was after the Ghanaian president Nana Akufo-Addo had a virtual meeting with Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, when they had an agreement over the activities of Twitter in the continent. When that was announced, Nigerians, there were conversations, it sparked conversations online amongst Nigerians, and Nigerians were saying, there was this discussion about why did Twitter choose Ghana over Nigeria? Do you think that Twitter should have chosen Nigeria over Ghana, and what right do we have?
Well, I really don't understand why this conversation is coming from Nigerians. I mean, these opinions about Twitter going to Ghana. Africa is a continent of over 50 countries. I mean, Twitter could have decided to go to any of the African countries. It's true that Nigeria has
Twitter's biggest market. We also have to understand that a lot of corporations, big companies, already have their presence in Nigeria, and Nigeria is not the only country in Africa. So while their opinion that the decision by Twitter is because maybe Nigeria is lacking in some essentials in terms of business friendliness and all of that, I feel the fact that Ghana is also a country in Africa, right now with the headquarters of the Africa Continental Free Trade, it positions Ghana for that opportunity. And as I was saying, we already have companies in Nigeria already. We have Microsoft has its office in Lagos. We have Facebook is present in Nigeria. Facebook opened its second office, after it's planning to open its second office after the first one in Johannesburg here in Nigeria by the second half of this year. So and we have we have Oracle in Nigeria. We have Microsoft Africa Development Center, right here in Nigeria. So I mean, Nigeria attracts a lot of these things already. A lot of talents. You have Andela, a lot of these companies, foreign companies here in Nigeria and doing business. And I think some other countries should get some other things too. But then a more fundamental issue here is even the issue of how the country, Ghana in this case, is better suited from the perspective of Twitter.
Because of true democracy, because of open internet freedom, free speech, because it's a society that they believe operates true democracy, free speech, online freedom. And these qualities are lacking in our own society.
Yeah, they are lacking in Nigeria, and you find them more in Ghana. And those qualities actually align more with Twitter's organizational objectives. So they feel Ghana is better suited for that opportunity than Nigeria and other African countries.
In this case, are there lessons for our lawmakers or Nigeria to learn?
Well, I mean, we just need to do more in attracting foreign investment and businesses, make our environment more friendly for them to come into. And then we should ensure that we uphold human rights and most of all these things that have to do with online freedom and freedom of expression. And because that's when we do that, we are able to attract more businesses of this nature into our country.
When the government create an enabling business environment, businesses continue to come in. There are more investment, and in this case, Twitter has decided to move to Ghana for reasons that we've highlighted, because Ghana has those qualities that the company desires. So in this case, and as you have rightly said, there are a lot of these other companies already in Nigeria. So maybe Nigeria should continue to improve the business environment so that Twitter can have its second office. That's a possibility. So now let's move from that to Somalia, where the lower house of parliament in the country voted to extend the term of President Mohamed Abdullahi for 2 years to enable the government prepare for elections. And that's after United States and some other countries have urged the country to hold elections immediately. Days after that the parliament voted to extend the president's term, violence erupted in Mogadishu, the capital of the country, and the president has bowed to pressure now, and he has rescinded on that decision to extend his limits. However, this makes me wonder, the ongoing issues in Somalia makes me wonder, why is it a trend in Africa that political leaders don't want to leave office? Why do political leaders in Africa always want to extend their rule? Is it a thing with Africa, or is it just that African leaders just love power?
I think African leaders, to a large extent, because of the lack of institutions and systems to ensure that we have term limits, that are constitutional term limits, they are kind of too attached to power, because we have a society that we are more inclined towards powerful men than powerful institutions. Of course, that will have to change, but it will definitely take time before it changes. What we have right now is a situation. I mean, right now in Somalia is a situation where you have a leadership that wants to force itself on the people. I mean, you stated that you are not ready for an election. You've been president for 4 years, and for all those while you didn't prepare for an election to take place. Probably he might have contested again if you wanted to contest, but now saying that you want an extension of the whole 2 years to prepare for an election, that's really poor. And it's good that we've seen that the Somali people have rose against that and said no, and with benefit, I mean, with the addition of international pressure and international organizations telling them to make sure they organize an election. I mean, we must, as a people, ensure that our leaders respect constitutional term limits. It's very important because it helps to build the institution of democracy and helps to deliver good governance to the people. Because people now know that when they are in leadership, they are more careful of what they do, because when they leave such leadership positions, they can be questioned on what they did while they were there. But when there aren't term limits, people can just do whatever they like that. And we've seen such cases in other countries like Zimbabwe, Uganda, where the leadership systems that are there right now are not good and not very compatible with democratic values.
Thank you for that. The good point that you made there is that we must, as a people, rise to the occasion every time to demand of our leaders what is right, as that is the only way that we can get good governance in our society. So let's move on to the last story for this episode of Africa This Month, and this is about Total, the French oil company, moving out or halting the gas project going on in Mozambique. Remember that in 2019, the French oil company Total made a $20 billion investment in a liquefied natural gas project in the northern side of Mozambique. The project aims to deliver liquefied natural gas by 2024. Besides that, we know that this project is foundational for the country's economic diversification. However, because of insurgents in the region, in the northern region of Mozambique, Total has withdrew its staff from the country and has halted the project until further notice. Now, I know this makes me wonder, Stephen. It looks like the problem in across Africa is similar. And this is a matter of insecurity, or rather say insecurity again in Mozambique. Why? Is it a question of why? I think this situation just reinforces the point that you have already made about when there is insecurity in a society, nobody wants to bring investment. No one wants to bring their business where it's not safe. I mean, this is a huge investment of $20 billion, and because of insurgents in that area, thousands of people have fled their homes. The area is not stable, and Total now has withdrew its staff and has halted that project until further notice. And this project is meant to create jobs for thousands of people of that country. So we can relate it to the point that you've made, that investment will not come to a country that is not safe, and when we don't have investment, you don't get to create jobs, your economy cannot grow, and it will affect the people basically. On the program today, I need to thank you. I have been discussing with Stephen Oyedemi, the co-founder and operations director of Ominira Initiative for Economic Advancement. Stephen, thank you for joining me on Africa This Month.
It's been a pleasure this episode.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you again.
All right.
Yeah. On the program today, we've discussed about the issue of insecurity in Nigeria and Mozambique, and why it is important for government and the people to rise to its responsibilities of securing lives and properties, and why it is also important for the people to demand what is right of their government, as in the case of Somalia. Why it's also right for the government to create enabling business environment in the case of Twitter choosing Ghana over Nigeria. I hope that you found this interesting, and until the next episode, thank you for joining. Please share this with your friends.